Here with Towson head coach Pat Skerry. To his left is Tamaj Parker-Rivera. The far left, Mike Morcell. We'll start with a statement from Coach Skerry on the game and then open up for some questions for the players.
You know, great game. Credit to Elon. Unfortunately for us, a little bit more of the same. I think our kids' effort all year has been great. We obviously were just kind of missing something, whether it was, you know, one-game foul shots or an execution error, and you know, so we've got to evaluate that. And I think I look at tonight, they made 13 threes. That was our big key coming into the game. So usually you give up 13 threes, you get bludgeoned, but I think we guarded otherwise well enough, and we had a great effort on the backboards. Hurt ourselves some turnovers, which we've done at times. So I've said it all year. I like the group. We certainly fell short of where we wanted to get. You know, that falls on me. Well, you know, I have to evaluate everything and figure what we need to do to quickly correct that, because I think that there's enough in place to do that. And we just had, you know, we've set a lot of records during my tenure here at Towson. I think this year we set a record for most close losses, which isn't one you want to have. So, you know, we're the old adage, close but no cigar. But we're, you know, I appreciate the guys that are here that have supported us, and we will get it right and get it fixed quickly.
Questions for the players?
Mike, going in towards the end, this being your first CAA tournament, when you had those 4 fouls in the fourth quarter, did that ease up with you at all in defense, or did you feel like with the season on the line you had to sort of get in the guy's face?
Yeah, I definitely tried to play more, I would say, tentative. I'm not really tentative, but I just try to watch. You know, like I try to be aggressive sometimes on number 3, Samson. I try to, you know, just watch my hands a little bit more, and I think I should have played more aggressive near the end. I think I lost the game a little bit. So.
And Mike, how do you think this experience, you know, being your first tournament game, and you had you're 7 for 12. So how do you think this experience is going to help you going forward as you keep competing for Towson?
I think this experience was great. We'll definitely come back next year better. I'll be better. Yeah, I think it was a great experience for me. I think I needed it.
TJ, you're one of the leaders on this team based upon your experience and from last year and everything. What do you see coming in the offseason that Pat said you guys are missing something? What do you think it might be, or what do you think you guys will work on a lot this summer going into next year?
Well, we're a young team, fairly young team. We got a lot of new pieces coming in, and they've been working hard all offseason. While their year off, they've been working hard. So coming in, we'll adjust, and we'll see where the pieces fit. And I think next year we'll come back even stronger.
Tamaj, knowing again, you said earlier this week, Tamaj, that this was kind of the game that you guys have played all season, that you're close, and something ends up happening. To get this close again, what was that like for you as you're kind of living it once again?
It hurts. It hurts. I mean, we forced the overtime. We were down late. We forced the overtime. You know, we got another opportunity to, you know, possibly win the game, and we lose by 5. I think it is 5. But it definitely hurts going out like this. But I mean, I got another year. We got a lot of young, good, talented players, and we'll come back even stronger next year.
For either one of the players, you know, Coach kind of hit on it. You know, they hit a lot of threes, but it was still a lot closer than one might think when you see that disparity. From your perspective, what was the difference in the game?
I think we rebounded the ball well. We forced a lot of tough 2s. Unfortunately, 3s are worth more than 2, so they hit a lot of 3s. I think we played good defense. We held them to a good percentage. It's just, you know, 3s are going to hurt in the end, and we gave up too many tonight.
Anything else for the players? Okay.
Tamaj, you guys went down 4 and 5 multiple times in the game, and you were able to claw back and tie it up. So what are you telling the team at those points when you're down 5 to try to get back into that game?
Well, it's all about stops when you're in that situation. I mean, tie game, a couple minutes left, it's all about stops. So I was just trying to tell the team, you know, we need stops. Unfortunately, we didn't get a few of them stops. A couple calls didn't go our way towards the end. So, I mean, it's tough, you know, it's tough, but we'll come back even better, like I said.
All right. Anything else for those guys? Thanks, guys. You can go. You got one more for them?
This is for the players. With such a young team and close losses all season, Even now, it seems like y'all, it's short term right now, even though it just happened. What pieces do y'all have as players that y'all can build on from this game on to next year? How can you execute? How can you build on what you've done this far to excel next year?
Just pushing myself a little bit harder. This season, I think that I wasn't as aggressive as I could be, and pushing my teammates as well, pushing my teammates to do the right thing. So going into the off season, I'm gonna make sure that the young guys are in the gym, we're in the gym together, and just getting better going forward. I mean, like you said, a lot of close, tough losses, and that's just one step. That's just one step we got to take, and I'm willing to push them to take that step.
All right.
I would probably say maturing. I think sometimes, Coach Skerry hard. He's a hard coach, so and our coaching staff is hard. So like when they yell at us, I think as younger players, I think that it kind of throws our game off and it makes us play kind of different. I think that we had a whole year under his belt. I think next year we're gonna come back better and stronger.
All right. Thanks, guys. Questions for Coach Skerry? Up front.
Coach, like you said in the intro, tonight looked a lot like most of the other games, really close, especially in the end. You guys just couldn't pull it away. Overall this season, can you just talk about some of the things that went right, some of the things that went wrong, considering we saw a lot of the same night in, night out?
Yeah, I mean, we did two things I think that are important to win a championship. For the third straight year, we led the league in field goal defense and rebound margin. I think that's how you build a championship team. So I think our effort was great. That's a credit to our kids. However, what's frustrating is we can't be as good as we were defensively and on the backboards and have accumulated as many close losses as we did. So that's frustrating. Like I said, that falls on me. We've got to fix that. But I like the group. They're back. I think what I've learned as a somewhat younger head coach is there's nothing that replicates experience quite like game experience, unfortunately.
Coach, Mike missed the season high by 1 point tonight. He took a lot of shots in the first half. Seemed like the offense was running through him. Was that the game plan for today?
You know what? He's really come on to his credit. Probably should have played him more earlier in the year. Just thought his practice habits needed to change a little bit, and to his credit, they did. And we want to, I feel like there's some very good freshmen in the league this year, but I think his ceiling is as high as anyone's. He didn't turn 18 until the fall, and he's got a chance to be a really, really good player for us. There's no question about that. He'll work. He's wired the right way.
Pat, a lot of the turnovers appear to come down in the post where they double team. Were your players just not moving off the ball or just standing around?
My initial, I think we had 3 or 4 of them. Either really, Matt, just I thought like stepping the pass, meeting a pass. I thought John had a couple seals, and one in particular I can visualize Sampson stepping around him, and Mike need to get lower on one. Just kind of those things. Like I said, I've got to do a better job with that. We tended to be a group that kind of got in our own way at times. It doesn't take anything away from Elon. They made 13 threes. I just, this group really, really competes. But then once in a while we do something that's, we make it a little bit more interesting than it needs to be. And that's been the frustrating piece about it. It's not like their intent is terrific. Their chemistry's good. It's just that I think sometimes in the guts of a game, it takes that 1 or 2 guys to kind of hold it down. And we probably had too many unknowns with that. On different nights, it was different guys. And I think it's better when like, that's the guy, or that's the guy. That's what we need to get to. And we will. We've had some guys emerge, and as you know, coming. So I think that will help.
We keep bringing up that they hit 13 threes, but I mean there were some really contested ones. And one sticks out in my mind at the end of the first half. Elijah Bryant's falling back, buzzer sounding, and he just swishes it, didn't even hit the rim. What does that do when shots like that are contested just keep falling?
Yeah, we went down here last year like that too. Some tough ones. Look I always tell our guys, if they can beat us with tough contested jump shots for 40 minutes, so be it. You know, give them credit. They made some tough ones. They did. I got to watch the tape to see if they were all tough. You know, but they certainly 13 threes is a lot. That might take us a couple of months to get that many.
Pat, feeding off Mike's comment that he made at the end there about was coach is so tough on us and it took some getting used to. Is that something, one, that kind of, I mean, you've been coaching for a while, but you said you're kind of a young head coach at this level. Is that something that surprised you? Is that something you'll learn from? Or how will you treat them next year as sophomores?
Well, it's going to be, now I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be a tough off season. Players, staff, there's, you know, ending up where we ended up is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to me. It wasn't what I was hired to do. It's not what I expect. So as I have told the guys, the one thing that is a constant in life is change. So there'll be some changes, and we'll get after it more than we've ever gotten after it. Mike, no, he's great. It's like he's a really good high school coach down there. And about a month ago, Mike was in a little bit of a feeling good about himself as first rookie of the week. I remember calling his high school coach, and he said, Pat, Mike does best when he is made to be uncomfortable. So, you know, we're going to be uncomfortable. It's you know, being so close and knowing that we can play with every team, that's great. That's not good enough. You know, honestly, I don't think they'll let me do it. I told our guys today I want to buy some practice gear, and it's going to say number 9 on the back for everybody because that's the seed we were. So we will get after it more than we've ever gotten after it in any offseason. That I'll promise you.
Coach, obviously, big factor in the game was Elijah Bryant. What approach did you take going into this game and defending him, and how do you think you guys were able to defend him, I guess, more in the second half when he didn't score?
Yeah, he got going early. He's really good. You know, he made some tough threes, but he's such a good driver. I didn't think we did a good job early in the game with their transition attack. They run that flat drag ball screen, but he's good. He was, you know, he's a weapon. He's got good size. He's a postgraduate kid, so his body's a little bit more developed, and he's versatile. He's a tough guard. Just try to. I thought the only thing thank goodness we didn't foul him a ton. Otherwise, you would have had about 40.
Coach, you had a huge size advantage over these guys, and it was reflected in the rebounding. But what was the difference in the offensive end? It seems like you guys couldn't score down low as easy as you could rebound.
Well, yeah, we've had certainly struggles at time on offense. I don't think it's so much our shooting. I think we've got to get a lot better at passing and catching. I think sometimes shooting's the last act, and if the passing's a little bit better or the spacing, you know, the rebounding is great. We've done a great job of that. There are certainly other times where, you know, it's almost like we're playing a 4-man and 2 5-men, and that hurts our offense. So, you know, one thing we'll get back to quickly is playing with that skilled 4-man like we had the last couple of years. That's what we have in the kid that's sitting out, and that's why he'll be an impact guy for us. It's going to certainly help our offense. If we can do that and then keep rebound defending, we'll be back to where we were.
Down here, last 7 minutes or so of game time, Formglin really put the team on his back. What do you think of his effort down the stretch?
Well, I think everyone's effort was good. I don't know if any one guy put us on his back. I think he did a pretty good job of attacking the rim. You know, we probably didn't get him loose enough for some threes, and you know, he's a lot of expectations on him. He's a fourth-year junior, and you know, we don't really play any seniors, so there was a lot of responsibility for him and TJ, and unfortunately for them, they didn't really have those big brothers to look up to this year. So, you know, we'll have to see how that goes in the offseason. I think TJ in particular has played very well down the stretch for us.
Pat, you mentioned a little bit earlier just how you kind of need a guy or two that you can count on. And I guess you probably could have guessed it might be a little dicey earlier in the year, but were you surprised or kind of taken aback by the fact that never really developed for you guys this season?
Yeah, I think a little bit more so from, you know, I was really pleased with the development of the freshmen, in particular, obviously, Morcell. You know, I said to the staff the other day, like, we lost a close game, Pat, a couple weeks ago up at Drexel, and I said, here's the negative. We're down 2 with the ball. We went to Morcell. He lost the ball. Next possession, he's guarding Damian Lee, who scores. I said, that as you step away from that's great, but that's probably not a great formula for, you know, for having success in this league. You know, probably the most befuddling thing for us was McGlynn had such a good non-conference, and then he got off to a slow start in conference play, and that set us back. And then we've got to really evaluate the last couple games. We were really close a whole bunch of times and couldn't get over the hump. I mean, even like I told you that we had William & Mary who missed 27 straight shots against William & Mary, and somehow had the ball down 5 or 3.5 minutes to go. So, they're battling. And I think there's some help on the way that'll help fix that pretty quickly. I said that a couple of years ago when we were really, really bad. This group isn't bad. We're right there. We've just got to probably add one more guy, and we have another one waiting in the wings. So that's going to help us.
Last two right here. Go ahead.
Coach, can you talk about what you expect out of adding a weapon like Arnaud next year? Is that something that you've been looking forward to while he's been sitting out?
Yeah, really good center. Both guys have. The kid McNeil from Mount St. Joe's will get in the mix. Moto's really good. He's I can't sit here and say he's Benjamin because he hasn't done it yet, but he's got more tools in the toolbox than that physically, and he will help us. He came in at 220 pounds. He's up to 242, and he's going to give us that format. He can dribble, pass, and shoot. That helped our offense the last 2 years. Like I said, we've guarded and rebounded for 3 years. Last 2 years, we were second in the conference in scoring, and Jarrell was a really good bailout guy. I think this kid's going to help us with that, and although I think he'll play with a better supporting cast because everyone else comes back. So we'll have to figure out some chemistry, and like I've told the players, roles will change. And guys that are willing to accept that, those are the guys that will move forward. We're still going to be a pretty young team. We're only going to have a couple seniors at most.
But given how your freshmen have played this year, are you going into this offseason hoping that Byron and Mike emerge as your 1 and 2 next year?
Well, that'll be on them, but the expectations are guys usually make the biggest jump between their first and second year, and I've got strong belief in our development program, whether it's in the weight room or on the court, so I think they'll markedly improve.
Last one right here.
Coach, what are your impressions of the depth of the conference? Elon's a new team in the CAA. What are your thoughts on them, and how hard is it to beat a team 3 times in a year?
Yeah, I got that asked. I don't think it's hard to beat them in this league once. It's this league is it's death for coaches because every night is pretty much a 50-50 game. Maybe slightly the other way, but it's a really good mid-major conference. It's like like anybody that's left standing can win this thing. It's I just think the teams that, and we did it the last couple of years, the teams that kind of stick to what they do really well in the last couple minutes of games, usually the ones that have success. And usually, having some experienced guys help you do that.
All right. Thanks very much.